Hey, this isn't super typical of me to take a gap between videos for this long, um, but I I don't think I need to explain that my life has just been a little busy. I actually really like the last video that I made, which you all should definitely check out. But the thing is just that my videos take a lot of time to make. I put a lot into these videos, and it's not the fact that I haven't worked on anything. I have had two videos that have just went down the drain. It just in terms of I can't either find them in my projects or a script is gone, and so it's kind of tough because that's how I prefer to do my videos. So I'm here now to end up the year with a video that is significantly easier than the stuff that I normally make. So that way I don't have to worry about stress on my end and not having to worry about really anything hardcore. So today I'm providing to you a manga collection to end up this year. So that way I don't, have to stress that I haven't made a video since April. I don't know, like this is before I did like the count, but as of right now, I don't know the number, so I'll just kind of put it on the screen, so that way that you guys can tell. It'll probably be in the title too, but we're just gonna go ahead and get into this. This might be a long video, who knows? But yeah. So for those of you guys that have kept track of my channel throughout the years, know that I've moved around a lot. Obviously, I'm a new spot from last year, but basically, I now finally have all my stuff in one place. So this is the first shelf. Then if you go over here, you can see this is the second shelf. And then I have a third shelf right there, and then a fourth shelf in the closet. So we're going to start with this one first, and then we're going to move our way in the proper order. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it. So first up, we have 5 centimeters per second. Yes, just like this one, I've not read this yet. It is one volume, and so after doing my huge One Piece catch-up, I think I might give it a shot. I just need something a little bit more calming and short that I don't have to worry about committing a lot of time to, but I did hear about it. I've never seen the movie, so I'm watching this. I don't know if this is an adaptation or if this is the original source material, but I've heard great things about it, so I'm wanting to check it out. All I know is that it's a romance, and I like to, calm down and read something like that every once in a while. So yeah, hopefully it's good. If not, I'll let you know. Astra Lost in Space, volumes 1 through 5. This is all complete. I really did like Astra. Astra is basically Among Us. It's literally just Among Us, and it's about these kids that get stuck on this castaway space station, and they have to get back to Earth. And it's really good. It's a really short read. It's very simple. It's honestly not the most memorable cast, but I do like the story. I like the concept of a good, mystery factor, and it was something that put a nice spin on that type of story, especially in a shonen, which I obviously read a lot of. So I really did enjoy it, and I would recommend this to people if they're looking for just a small shonen to read. Attack on Titan No Regrets, volumes 1 and 2. This is Levi's backstory. I actually have a review about this from a few years ago if you want to check this out. But it's pretty much just a prequel story to Attack on Titan, taking place to see the character of Levi. And it's really good. I would really recommend it. I can't say really much more than that. It's a good prequel story, and it's obviously a very easy read since it's 2 volumes. So I would recommend this to any Attack on Titan fan. So just check it out, whenever that you would like to, especially, just for the people that still like Attack on Titan nowadays. Attack on Titan for the Fall, volume 1. I used to have the light novels to these, but to tell you the truth, I still don't really know what this is about, other than that this was another prequel story that's before Attack on Titan, taking place with no characters that have been mentioned at all during the main series, and it's about this kid that was born from a Titan. That's pretty much all I know from it. So I need to give it a shot just like this. There are a couple things in my collection that I haven't given a shot yet, and that's one of them. So hopefully next year I'll be able to give you a better synopsis, but who knows? I'm mostly a liar. Attack on Titan Volumes 1 all the way to 34, so this is complete. Obviously, it's Attack on Titan, Eren Yeager, second side of the wall, the Titans attack, they're giant people, and then he himself becomes a Titan. I don't think I need to explain this, a lot of people tend to know this. If you know manga, you pretty much know Attack on Titan, which, again, I also have another review on this video, or on this series, so if you want to go check that out for more cohesive thoughts, you can. But for the most part, I think Attack on Titan's really solid up until about maybe like here or so. I don't really like these last few volumes. They're not really my thing. So I would just suggest to... That's just me. I wasn't a big fan of the ending. It wasn't my cup of tea. But if you are, good on you. It's just not my thing. So maybe the adaptation will make it a little bit better. But I don't know. But, you know, if you are a big fan of Attack on Titan, and you did like the ending, then kudos to you. It just wasn't my thing. So don't let that discourage you. I still think that the first part of the series is phenomenal. So check that out if you are wanting to. Just be prepared for a mixed ending. But again, you may like that. So that's just your call. Bakuman! Look, I'll just be for real with you. Bakuman is like one of the biggest enigmas of a series. I have 1 all the way to 20, so I have it all. There's the box set to prove it. I own it all, but Bakuman has like such good parts to it, but like the highest of highs and lowest of lows. I don't think I'm at the end of the day just an Oba and Obata fan. I really don't, and I think that this is, you know, one of the series that just didn't do it for me at all. I do not think this is good, mostly just because it is super long. The pacing is incredibly slow, and I think that it just has some moments that are just beyond incomprehensible in terms of storytelling, and I don't think that anyone should really pick this up nowadays. I think if you don't like women, then maybe this your cup of tea, but this series has a lot of problems, mostly just it's very sexist and it's really weird. So I doubt that it'll be here. Hopefully it won't be here next year, but yeah, for right now, it's still here. Another series I don't think that'll be here next year is Barrage. I wanted to check out Horikoshi's work. That was before My Hero, and I have to be honest, this was incredibly just below average. It's only 2 volumes, so if you are a really big Horikoshi fan, then maybe you'll like this, but it's super rushed. You could tell that this was a canceled series, and yeah, that's really all I can say about it. I really can't even remember the plot. I remember I liked like the very beginning of it, but that's really all I can give it, you know, props wise. But yeah, that's Barrage in a nutshell. It probably won't be there for very long. It's just, yeah, that's about it. Next up is Blue Exorcist Volumes 1 to 27, and I am all caught up on Blue Exorcist. I do like Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is a, you know, guilty pleasure of mine. I kept up with it for a long time, and I really do enjoy Blue Exorcist. It's about, you know, Rin, who's the son of Satan, and he is trying to defeat Satan, and so he joins this school that is meant to fight demons, and it's really cool. I think it's very interesting. I think that, you know, people give it a bad rep because the first season of the anime is, you know, a little rough because it had an anime original ending, and then the second season retconned the first season, and so people haven't given it a shot. But I typically do like where it's going, and it's just very slow right now. So I'm just slowly, you know, I am caught up, but it's just very slow paced right now. So just, you know, I'm bearing with it, and hopefully it'll have a good ending, and I can keep it, giving it compliments. I think it has good pacing. I like the characters. I like that it's, you know, interesting. I like Ran. I think his powers are very interesting, and so it keeps me attached, and so I'm hopefully going to, you know, if the series wraps up in the next couple of years, I'll hopefully do a reread, and again, give it high compliments. Chainsaw Man. I want to make it clear that I liked Chainsaw Man before it got popular. I do like Chainsaw Man. I think it's awesome. It's about Denji, and obviously he's Chainsaw Man, and he fights devils, and I think that it's really cool. And Chainsaw Man is my favorite series from the past couple years, just of new manga, and so it's inspired me enough to get on to my shelf, which I don't get a ton of new series, so I am very glad that it's here. This is all part 1, so this is all that is out right now. I am caught up to it. and I am obviously, the chapters are going on, but the physical releases are, slowing down because part 2 is going on, and I'll obviously keep on getting more. But I highly recommend Chainsaw Man. I think it's really good. It's very just a mixed taste. It's very weird for some people, especially just if I wouldn't talk about it like casually, but some people are really into it, and so I would recommend it if you ask me about it. But it does have very mixed appeal, so I would just say it's good. I would recommend it, and that's pretty much all I can say. So that way I don't talk myself into a corner. But overall, I just love Chainsaw Man. Yet again, another series that I don't know if that's going to be here for very long is Dr. Stone Volumes 1 and 2. I thought the concept was interesting. I didn't really like the main character that much. It's about people that, they wake up, what is it, like 2,000, 5,000 years in the future, and they've been turned to stone, and they're trying to bring humanity back. But I read these 2 volumes, and I didn't really like it that much, and I haven't really heard good things that it gets better over time. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to be here very long. Maybe I'll give it another shot in the next couple months. But overall, I'm not very impressed by it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So it may or may not be here next year. Who's to say? All right, Fire Force, Volumes 1 all the way to 29. I am part of the Fire Force. I'm part of the Fire Force. So this is all that's out right now. I do like Okubo and his work. So I have been collecting this over a long period of time. I've been here since the beginning. I was back when it was called the Fire Brigade of Flames. If you can tell me that you remember that, then you deserve a veteran's discount. But the thing is that Fire Force, I think, is not as creative as Soul Eater, and I don't like the ending as much as Soul Eater for sure. I think the last couple chapters I do enjoy, but overall, the ending is not as good as Soul Eater, but I don't want to compare it because on its own, it's still solid. It definitely just takes its time to pick up the pace. I really didn't find myself. I read the whole series last year, and I finished it up, and I did enjoy it. I just think that it takes its time. I don't think it really gets good until Volume 7, but I think that's kind of tough for it to keep people's attention. And some of the characters are just kind of too much for me. I think that Okubo is not very funny, and some of the characters reflect that for sure. But I do think that the end of the series definitely, picks up the pace a little bit and makes it easy for me to enjoy it a lot more. So I will end up keeping this, but I will say it is not one of my favorites, but I do like Shinra. I do like him, the main character. And obviously, if you know what Fire Force is, it's about people that spontaneously combust, and the Fire Force are the people that stop those fire people. Fire people. I don't really know where I'm going with this analogy. But I would say if you like Okubo, then you will like this series. Just, check it out if you're interested. I just can't say it's one of the best shonens, but I will keep it in my collection because I do like it. Now we're at Full Metal Alchemist Volumes 1 all the way to 27, so this is complete. I have the box set to prove it. Heck yeah. But what can I say about Full Metal Alchemist that hasn't already been said? It's spectacular. Edward and Alphonse Elric, they lose parts of their bodies, and Alphonse lost his whole body, and they have to get their bodies back with alchemy and blah, blah, blah. It's a huge political war drama, and it's really good, and I just love Full Metal Alchemist so much, and it's in my top 10 series ever. I made an old review of this, but I think that my thoughts still stand. I reread it last year, and it still holds up. I mean, everybody should go read Full Metal Alchemist. It's amazing. I might even buy the Full Metal editions here soon. I'm not sure, but I might double dip. But this series is absolutely spectacular. I'd recommend this to absolutely anybody. It is so good. So yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Please check it out. Support whatever you can of this. Watch the show, or either one of the shows. Watch the movies, whatever. It's just Full Metal Alchemist is great, and I really can't say anything that's different other than the regular praise that it gets all the time. One volume series, The Gods Lie. It's a small slice of life series with a big twist. I'm not going to say a lot about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but I think this is an absolutely adorable read. I think that if you are looking for something that is going to pull on your heartstrings, then you should check it out. It's very emotional, very dramatic. I've said a lot of different things for this series in terms of what it is, but it is really good. And again, it's one volume, so if you aren't a big fan of it, that's not your thing, but it's very easy, so you should go and check it out whenever. It's become a top favorite of mine, and I read it about once a year, and I think it's just super good. All right, now we have Haikyuu Volumes 1 all the way to 45, which is all of Haikyuu. I'm now going to get on my knees. I got a really crazy good deal on Haikyuu, and it got me about to 30 something. I just collected the rest of it so that way that, you know, I could finally finish it up, because I've heard great things that it's, you know, starts off solid and it ends really, really well, and I really like a cohesive series, so I'm ready to give it a shot. I gave it a shot a few years ago, and, you know, I didn't think I was going to like it that much, but then I had such a good deal on this that I ended up, you know, picking it all up, and now I'm going to read it here soon. It's just going to take a little bit, but you know, it's a volleyball series. It's a sports series, and everybody really likes Haikyuu that I've heard from, and so I'm very excited to give it a shot. And now I own all of it, so it's very easy for me to have it all in one location. All right, Hunter x Hunter Volumes 1 all the way through 22, and I have a random Volume 32 right there as well. It's Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is, you know, a good favorite series of mine, and sadly, you know, there are the jokes that it's constantly on hiatus, and I understand that because, you know, it's constantly on hiatus, but, you know, it's coming back, question mark. But Hunter x Hunter is unique. I think that the Nen power system, you know, leaves room to a lot of different possibilities, and I just really like Hunter x Hunter in and of itself, and so I would recommend this to anyone, but I would say don't get too attached if you really are looking for an ending, because who knows if it'll ever happen. I just know that a lot of people are a big fan of this series, and they're just like me, that, you know, they're always wanting more, and, you know, this is, you have enough, we have a lot of good stuff right now, and so it just, you know, is a real big mystery. But yes, Hunter x Hunter is going to stay in my collection for a good reason, just because it's really solid, and it's going to remain one of my favorites for probably years to come. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 0, 1, and 2. Jujutsu Kaisen has been, you know, a series that everyone has been talking up. It's, you know, one of the highest selling series of the past 3 years, and so I agree with them. I really like the beginning of Jujutsu Kaisen, which apparently is an unpopular opinion, but I also picked up Zero because that's the one that the movie is based off of, and over time, you know, when, you know, the series starts to wrap up a little bit more, I'll collect the rest of it, but for right now, this is all that I have in my collection, and so you would really like this series. If you're trying to get into a shonen, this is the most recent shonen that has really, you know, struck a chord with people, and everybody really seems to like it, so I can't say fully that I'm the biggest fan of it, but I do like Jujutsu Kaisen, so I would say go check it out if you have the ability to. Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't need to explain Kingdom Hearts, the manga. I'm just a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, so I wanted to pick these up. They're solid adaptations. It's video game manga. You know, if you like a series and you want more of it, this is a good way to get it. But this is, you know, not the peak of manga by all means. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And it's kind of the same thing here. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Volumes 1 through 10, which has, there's one more volume, and then I'm finally complete with it. But it's kind of the same thing. You know, they're solid adaptations if you really are big fans of the series, and you can check these out. But I'm not going to talk them up and say that I think that they're the best manga ever made. I just like them because I like the games. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Yeah. Lone Wolf and Cub Volume 1. I've had this for so long. It's mostly just because I got it for $3 whole, and I just couldn't pass up that chance. And you know what? To tell you the truth, I can't tell you a single thing about it because I really don't know. But I know it's about this samurai guy and this baby. So I hope the people aren't upset by the fact that I don't know what it is, but I do own it, so I will give it a shot at one point. Magi Volumes 1 to 13 there, and then 14 all the way to 37, and this is complete. This is all of Magi. Yeah, I love Magi. Magi's so good. Magi's one of my favorite series literally ever. I think that the series is really good. I think that the ending isn't the best, but I think that the rest of the series is so good. Kind of, you know, the Attack on Titan thing, but although I did like this ending better than Attack on Titan, although that's comparing apples and oranges, it's kind of a similar situation of where I think the rest of the series is so solid, and then it just has a really rushed ending. And I would still recommend this to anybody. It's about Aladdin and his friend Alibaba, and they are dungeon crawling, and then a bunch of things happen and magic and whatnot. So if you have the capability to, please check out Manga. I think it is fantastic. I think the magic system is phenomenal. The art and it's just really good. Mashal Volumes 1 and 2. I got these for pretty cheap at a used bookstore, and I wanted to try it. All I know, it's literally about magic and muscles. That's literally all that I know, because guess what? It says it right there. So that's literally the depth of what I know. So I will give it a shot here soon, and I know that a lot of my friends have talked the series, so that's where I'm at. That's pretty much it. Mob Psycho 100 Volumes 1 all the way to 9. This is all that's out right now. Mob Psycho is made by the same guy who draws One Punch Man. You can tell by the art right there. Not drawn by the guy who does One Punch Man. It's the original artist who draws One Punch Man. So the art is kind of interesting, but that's kind of its appeal. So it just kind of shows you that you don't have to have great art to really, do something spectacular. But Mob Psycho is interesting because I've read a little bit of it and it hasn't done it for me. But hopefully, if I collect the whole series, I'll like it. So why is Mob Psycho 107 right there and not there? So yeah, I will hopefully end up liking Mob Psycho, or I may just have to watch it to become a big fan, but this is all that is right now, and I will hopefully give it a shot here soon, and, it'll revitalize my love for the series, or my first love for the series. My Hero Academia Volumes 1, and then it goes to 20, and then we are at 21 to 32, which is all that is out right now. It's My Hero Academia. It's basically just about this kid who doesn't have superpowers, and now he does, and he wants to be the world's best hero, and that's where it's at. We are, at a good part. We are nearing into the final arc with the physical releases, which I'm, really excited about because I do like My Hero, and I thought that the season that's going on right now, I think that arc is spectacular, and so I am really excited just to see what all is coming out for it. And I am probably going to start rereading it soon, so that way that I can read it all the way up until its ending, because it is going to end soon, and I am really excited just to see where it goes, because it is like a solid series. I was at the bookstore, and I bought this volume just randomly, and it became a huge hit, so that's kind of my history with the series, and I've never watched an episode of it. I've watched a couple of the movies, but I've read the manga all the way, up to here, so I'm, a loyal fan. So that's pretty much my history with it. But yes, I would recommend My Hero. I think it is a solid shonen, and it has really paved the way to a lot of solid shonen right now. And so this is basically just the everyman's shonen, and I think that you would like it if you bought it. Alright, now Naruto 1 all the way to 42, and then 43 all the way to 72. This is all of Naruto. I recently got it all when I finally completed it. Funny story, when I bought the last box set, I got 2 volumes of Naruto 59 within the box set, and it would cost me more money to return it and get one with volume 60, so I just bought volume 60. I think I'm being ripped off somewhere. But it's Naruto, it's the classic, one of the big 3. It's, Naruto, he wants to be Hokage, everybody knows it. So I finally own it all, and it's been a long time since I've read the ending of Naruto, so maybe in a year or so, I'll give Naruto a reread, or maybe sometime, in 2023, I'll read all of Naruto, and I'll, finally get, rehashed on the original ending. But my opinion are, or my opinions of the series are 1 through 27 is really solid, but then it kind of struggles a little bit, and then it's kind of mixed within it, and then the ending is just it's okay, it's harmless. So that's my take on it. So some people may disagree with that. And that's okay. I've recently just kind of gotten back into wanting to reread it, so I picked it up finally, and hopefully my mind changes after I reread it. But yeah, I own all of Naruto, and I'm very excited to have it in my collection, and all of it finally. So yeah, this series is a classic. Noragami volumes 1 through 16. This is not up to date. I just have a certain amount, and I'm very excited to own all of it, or just all that I have, because I think Noragami is really solid. I need to reread it here soon, just like a ton of other series that I own. But Noragami is really solid. It's by Yato. This he's a kami that is trying to just get some money, and he just does it in random ways, and there's a bunch of different wars and stuff. It's kind of got a Soul Eater feel to it, just kind of with the magic or the power system, and I do find it really interesting. I really like the story, and I think it has a lot of good places to go. So I need to reread it here soon to get kind of figure out again what all the story is, because I don't remember it all super well. But I do like Noragami, and I hopefully will keep collecting here soon. You can tell I've had this for a long time because of how yellow these pages are. Goodness gracious. Oh, geez. But yes, I do like Noragami, and I would recommend it to anyone that is curious in this series. So that is all that first shelf. So now we're going to head on to the second shelf, where I will explain more of my depth into my used paper addiction. My pride and my joy, One Piece, volumes 1 all the way to 48, and then 49 all the way to 95, and then 96 to 100. Isn't that crazy? Yes, I can finally fit all of my One Piece on one shelf, and that is really crazy to me. And I even have some of the bonus ones, because I do own the box sets right up there. But One Piece needs no introduction. Luffy, King of the Pirates, wants to be it. Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of One Piece. I just love One Piece so much. And I just got done catching up to it, and it's so good right now. And oh my gosh, it is literally, I am just so impressed by this lineup right here. So yes, One Piece is definitely one of those things that everybody's getting into. But if you're going to collect it physically, there are easy ways. You can now get, up to box set 4 of the series now. And you can literally get to like these 2 first shelves. Like you can get like all of this for like less than 400, but it's obviously a long series, so you need to know what you're getting into before getting into One Piece. I love One Piece, but not everybody's into it. So take with that what you will. One Punch Man, volumes 1 to 24. I'm caught up on the series. It's One Punch Man. He beats everything on one punch. It's drawn by Yusuke Murata, the guy who did Eye Shield 21, and One Punch Man is really, really good, especially like this part. Oh my gosh, it is like this current arc that just wrapped up is insane, and I am so excited to own it. One Punch Man is just really solid all the way through. It's kind of it's not a parody manga, but it is kind of satire to the shonen trope of everything is the main character is oh so powerful and never can be stopped. And One Punch Man is just good, and it's so good. Please buy One Punch Man if you haven't already. I really like One Punch Man. Orange volumes 1 and 2 and Future. I have never read the sequel series, but this is a romance about some friends, and they have a friend who is in trouble, and then the main characters get letters from themselves in the future, and it has a weird time travel twist to it. But it's a nice, simple romance. I need to reread it to actually say if it's solid or not, but of course I still own it, and I liked it when I first read it, so I should probably reread it to see if it's still worth keeping around. But yeah, Orange is here. Maybe I will give the sequel one a shot too. I got this for really cheap, and I was like, you know what? Why the heck not? So yeah, that's Orange. Parasite volumes 1 through 8 complete. Parasite is awesome. It's about Shinichi, who has an alien come down and possess his hand, and then they have to defeat other aliens, and it is really cool. And Parasite is really awesome. It is a nice suspenseful, kind of a gory series. So I would suggest that if you are a fan of, or if you're wanting to check out Parasite, then you should either, one, definitely have a good stomach for that type of stuff, or have a good, mental fortitude to be able to handle something that can be, a little bit more creepy. You could pick up these volumes, but, they just had a current reprint, and they are getting colored editions, so check those out. Or you can get these singles. I think that the hardback versions just have the 1 volume, but I'm not really sure. If anybody could say in the comments the exact information, then that would be awesome. But yeah, Parasite is really good, and I would recommend it to anybody who is just in the suspense and thriller manga type of hold. The Promised Neverland Volumes 1 all the way to 20. Talk about wasted potential. Literally, how can you have a series that is so phenomenal up until, like, here? Like, you really fumbled the bag. Not as worse as the second season of this show, which literally tries to adapt this many volumes in like 3 episodes. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. But I do think that The Promised Neverland is solid, really up to here, and it disappoints me because the ending is not as good. So I would say it's hard for me to recommend it because it doesn't have a good ending. But again, it's kind of the same thing with Attack on Titan. Really, really solid up until like there, and then it's just, I wouldn't recommend it right there. So asking me on a certain day, you could probably, you probably get a better answer. I'm just going to say it's in my collection, so come with your own conclusions of if it's worth it or not. I'm going to keep it around still because I probably will reread it, but it is just, right now, it's in the type of category, just overall. Like, that's where my thoughts are with it. Siren Volumes 1 through 16, so this is complete. This is all of Siren. Siren is about this guy right there, and they get a phone call and they get teleported to another world where they have to pretty much survive and get to another telephone within that world. It's kind of like a battle royale type of deal, but there's powers within it, and it is really interesting because you find out all these things about just the world that they're going to, and it is very unique and interesting, but I think that the beginning is nothing special, and then it does have a rushed ending, so it kind of makes the middle the best part. So, take it with a grain of salt, whether or not you should get that or not. It is, I got all of this a while ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I did get this a while ago. I don't have any idea what prints are like right now, but I think the series is pretty solid and I would keep it in my collection. I wouldn't say it's the best shonen out there, but it is very entertaining and fun, and I would say if anybody's thinking about picking it up, then go for it. While it's not a manga, I do own all of Scott Pilgrim, and I put it here on the shelf just because it makes the most sense that it's here. So yes, it's Scott Pilgrim. It's, Scott Pilgrim and fighting the 7 evil X's, and it was awesome. I read it for the first time last year, and it was spectacular. And for American comics, it is super solid and deserving of all the praise that it gets. It is phenomenal. But, of course it is manga, so we have to exit out of the collection. Not the collection, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's not manga, so get out of here. Now with this one, I can't explain. I got this as a gift, volumes 1 through 7 of the 7 Deadly Sins. And, it's a fun series, and I think that somebody saw that I reviewed it, and they thought that I was the biggest fan of it. And this is the part of the 7 Deadly Sins that I actually enjoyed. Yeah, I don't mind to own it here. Who knows if I'll get any more of it. I think I do have a review on it. If you want to go watch that, the link to all of my reviews will be in the description, and I've reviewed quite a few of the series I own here. So, it's a solid 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Maybe I rated it higher then, but I would give it a 6 now. So it's not horrible, but it's fun at least. So I can at least give it that as a compliment. But yeah, for right now, it is in my collection. A Silent Voice, volumes 1 through 7. This is a very interesting romance series. It's about these 2 people that they meet, and the girl is deaf and the guy is not, and it's their kind of relationship as they grow up and go throughout high school. It's very cute, very easy read. It's 7 volumes long, and there's a movie out, and that's kind of how it got its popularity, but I owned it a little bit before the movie came out, so I would tell anybody, this is really solid. It's definitely worth the read. I want to reread it just to get a better idea of it, because it's been a long time since I've touched it, and I remember liking it, so I keep it in my collection because it is good, and I would say that it is definitely worth the buy, especially in this nice little box set. It's a Kodansha box set, so you'll get it about $60 or $70. But it is a very easy first read for anybody that's getting into manga. Now on to the masterpiece, Soul Eater, volumes 1 all the way to 25. Soul Eater is one of my favorite series ever. It is spectacular, a super unique and interesting concept with awesome execution and a good ending. I actually double dip with these because all my hardcovers exist out in my living room on our big shelf, just so that way I can show them off. But I keep the ones that I actually read here on the shelf because these spines are awesome and I love the gradient effect and it's just so good. And again, I could totally talk up Soul Eater a lot more. I have a review on it, but I'll just say I love Soul Eater. It's one of my top series of all time, and I can just give it nothing but praise. So please go read Soul Eater. Please, please, please go touch it or whatever. Touch grass. I don't know. I just love Soul Eater, and I will give it praise all day long because I think it is just so good. Spy Family volumes 1 all the way through 4, which again, this is not complete. Spy Family has been getting a lot of popularity this year with the new anime, and deservedly so. It's one of the better new shonen that are out there, or new anime, new manga that are out there, and I think that it's really good and very deserving. It's very wholesome, just like the title suggests. There's a family that's made by this guy who's the spy, and then the mom is the assassin, and then the little girl can read minds, and it's really cute and wholesome and fun, and I just really, really like it. So I'm going to talk it up to high heaven right here, but you should definitely go check it out. There's an anime going on right now. There's not as many volumes out, but I know that, I'm content with having this much right now until there's a little bit more, and I will collect the rest of it. But yeah, Spy Family is in my collection because it is really, really good. THEBIGPOD volumes 1 all the way through 20. That is complete. Letter B, as other people call it, because it says it right there on the side, it is THEBIGPOD or letter B. It's about this kid, and he has to deliver mail, and then there's guns that are charged with heart, and it's pretty cool. And I need to read it all because I watched the anime when I was younger and I thought it was good. So maybe I'm gonna, read this and think it's absolute garbage. But for right now, it is in my series, and it's been like that for years. And I finally collected all of it. So very excited to finally check it out here very soon. And finally on this shelf, we have Your Lie in April. I recently reread it in the past year, and it is good. Obviously, a music manga is very interesting, but the anime is also very good too. It's about this kid, and he's a child prodigy. He ends up stopping music, but then he meets this girl who wants him to get back into music, and he feels inspired. And it is a very easy read. It is a very big drama series, so I would say go for it if you're really into that. But by now, a lot of people know Your Lie in April. But if not, I think you should definitely give it a shot. There's people that can describe stuff way better than me. I could talk about it more. But Your Lie in April is very, very good. So pick it up if you can. Again, it's only 11 volumes, so it's not super long. You can get in. I think I ended up reading it in about 3 or 4 days, and I was just powering on through it. But it is very easy. So yeah. Check out Your Lie in April, very deserving of being my collection. So now we're transitioning from this shelf into the closet, which this closet's very interesting. This is kind of where I keep a lot of my, off different stuff. These are all my, game art books and stuff like that, or just my game guides and stuff, and some American comics, which I have, quite a few. So I collect those from time to time just because I do like to read a good American comic, but you guys are here for the manga, so let's get down in here. So on this first shelf, obviously it's very varied, but I can try to speed through these very quickly. All You Need Is Kill is drawn by Takeshi Obata, the same guy who's done Death Note and Bakuman, and it's a really good one-volume series, kind of like Groundhog Day, but with violence. This is a series that's on my reread list, and I think that it's very solid. It's very just interesting. Anybody can just pick it up and read it very easily. That's really all I can say because I haven't read it in a few years, so I really am not super confident in what all I would say about it, other than I remember I liked it. And now 2 series that I haven't read are Buddha and Blade of the Immortal, but I own the first volume. I don't own the first volume of Buddha. Ergo, why would I start it yet? But hopefully I will get more of it because I do like Tezuka, and I want to get more of his stuff and just give it a shot. But Blade of the Immortal is iconic, and these Dark Horse prints are really hard to find, and so I don't know if I want to get attached because it would be very, very difficult for me because I would want to collect it all, and it's kind of hard to get those. Devilman, Volume 1. There's actually only 2 volumes of Devilman, which is good because it's very easy to pick up. But Devilman is about a guy who becomes a devil. I watched Devilman Crybaby, and I honestly cannot give a really solid synopsis of this series because Devilman is very interesting. I've been saying that a lot today, but Devilman probably is one of the more interesting ones in my collection, just because, again, it's Devilman. It's got a very weird concept to it. So definitely look up a synopsis for that. Would I recommend it? I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea, but if you are into that type of story, one that's a little bit darker, then it's probably up your alley. All right, we got Dragon Ball 1 through 5 and the Dragon Ball Z 1 all the way to 9. This is all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I, again, don't really need to explain this series, kind of like with Naruto and One Piece. This is one of the, arguably, the most iconic anime that's ever hit the planet. It's about Goku, and he fights. I don't think I need to talk about this really anymore, and I have not read Dragon Ball, but I have read Dragon Ball Z, so hopefully soon I will check these out, and I'll get to see what all is talking about, because in all reality, I'm not a huge Dragon Ball fan, but I do appreciate what Dragon Ball Z has done in the West, so yeah, it's Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I own it. I just realized I keep on saying, yeah, so just as to end this, but yeah. Golden Kamuy 1 through 10. I got a really good deal on these for like $30 or something. So I bought it. I don't really know what it's about. This guy has a gun, and I think there's something about them getting cold, and I don't... Maybe the fans will know what I'm talking about. Something involving urine? I don't know. But regardless, Golden Kamuy is a series that I'm very excited to hop into. So maybe here soon, I will give it a go. What manga collector can talk up their collection without saying that they own JoJo's, which I own all of Phantom Blood. I don't own anything past that, and I've only read up to part 3, so JoJo's is solid. It is literally just in the same kind of vein as regular shonen. You know, there's a lot of exposition that has its power system, but the art is incredible. Araki has such incredible and detailed art, and I think that's what carries JoJo so much. But also, these volumes are so nice. These hardbacks are ridiculously good. So if you're just looking for good-looking volumes to have on your shelf, JoJo's is the way to go. But I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of JoJo's in and of itself. But if you're wanting classic shonen good stuff, then check out JoJo's. The same thing earlier with the Zelda and Kingdom Hearts manga back there. These are the adaptations to other Zelda games, and they were nice, and look, they're colored on the inside, so I want to pick these up, and they're nice omnibus volumes. So that's really all I can say about it. I'm a big Zelda fan, and so I'm going to pick them up, but that's really the depth of this, why I own these. All right, this is a new pickup from the same guy that wrote Chainsaw Man. It's Look Back by Tatsuki Fujimoto. I don't know anything about this other than it was a 1-volume series, but I saw Fujimoto's name and I really was excited, so I'm going to check it out here soon. But that's all I can say. Again, it is 1 volume, so why not give it a shot? But I really don't know much about it other than I saw Fujimoto's name and I wanted to pick it up. So I won't give my thoughts on it right now because I don't really know. And finally, we're on to the last shelf. Yeehaw, I need to take a nap. Mobile Suit Gundam Origin 1 through 3. These volumes are beautiful. I picked them up literally just because of that. And I have owned these for a while, so I need to read them, but this is Gundam the Origin, so I thought this would be a good starting point of Gundam in and of itself. I'm not a huge Giant Robots person, which is ironic because 2 of the Giant Robot series that are owned are right next to each other, but I haven't read these yet. I just know that they are beautiful, and so I just picked them up literally because of that. So I need to give them a shot to know I'm really getting into this. And of course, Evangelion, which I picked up the manga because I know that it is different from the anime just a little bit, and I'm interested in Evangelion enough to where I want to know more, and I want to read, and see which version is the best. Obviously, I don't think that Evangelion is one of the best anime ever made, but it's something. So I have volumes 1 through 5 complete, or volumes 1 through 14 if we're really keeping count. So we will check it out here soon and see if it is worth all the hype. But I do like the omnibus volumes. I especially like up there, it does say Evangelion all the way at the top, and I just like how the spines look on the shelf. So that's the depth. The Junji Ito print of No Longer Human, I picked this up because I was trying to find No Longer Human for a long time, and I finally found it, and I didn't know if this was a separate version or the same one, but I bought it anyways because it looks like it is pretty similar, so I need to give this a shot because everyone talks of Junji Ito, and I think he's cool, but I've never owned anything by him, so now we'll finally be able to give it a shot and see what I have to think. Phoenix Volumes 2 and 5 and 6, which is Tezuka's platinum or magnum opus. Everyone talks up Phoenix, so I'm very, very stoked to give it a shot, just because look how nice it looks, but also it's so rare that it's really hard for me to get into it, so I will say it's a maybe, because I don't really know other than the fact that it was very out of print and I bought it just because. Planets Volumes 1 and 2, absolutely phenomenal series. It's 2 volumes. It is one of the best series I have ever read, not just in manga, but in general. I think it is fantastic. I think if you don't read this, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is so good. It is about astronauts and how they deal with space, and it's about this one guy who's trying to figure out his life and try to get it all together while also working as a space janitor, which is a crazy concept, but Planets is phenomenal and so good, and I just love Yukimura and everything that he does, so please check out Planets if you haven't, and I cannot give him enough praise, or the series enough praise, because it is just that good. Pluto, Volumes 1 through 8. This is complete. This is all Pluto. This is the Urasawa and Tezuka collaboration that I don't know too much about, but I know that it involves Astro Boy, and I am a Astro Boy type of guy, so I want to give it a shot, and I want to look at it and see what it's about. I know there's a mystery factor to it, which is also very intriguing to me, so I want to look at this here very soon. It is on my list. I think it's one of the top 3 series that I'm going to read next. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and I am very glad that I own all of it because it did take me a while, so now I own all of Pluto, and hopefully next year I'll be able to talk it up. And finally on this row, we have Solanin, which Solana is spectacular. It is a 1-volume series that I think everybody should read. It is a nice drama series. It is a nice, it is such a good nonfiction story, and I think that it is spectacular. It is about this girl and her boyfriend wants to play music, and it's about, figuring out happiness and following your dreams and whatnot. And I think that it is just so awesome, and I can talk it up to high heaven. My friends have actually read the series because of my video on it. So shout out to all my homies that that heard about Solanin because of me. You're welcome. Tokyo Ghoul Volumes 1 through 14. It has been a long time since I've read Tokyo Ghoul, but I keep it around because I did like Tokyo Ghoul. I don't, think anything great of Tokyo Ghoul Re, just because I think that this series did it justice, but I haven't read anything else. But I have heard that Tokyo Ghoul Re is not that good. So I'm going to sit here and say that I will keep this around, and if I want to get around to Re, it may change my opinion on the series of if I should get rid of this part or not. I have no idea. But Tokyo Ghoul is about Ken Kaneki, and he is part human, part ghoul, and his misadventures, all of his wacky pals, and so that's kind of where we're at. I need to give this a reread. It's also on my list of rereads to try out, and I'm very interested to read it again because it's been way too long. I think it's been probably it's probably been about 6 years since I've read Tokyo Ghoul, so I'm very happy to check it out again here soon and see if I remember it just as well as I used to. This is a controversial pick, mostly just because I liked the first part of Tokyo Revengers, and I recently got these, but I have heard not good things. So here soon I'm going to read through it again and see if it's worth it, and if not, it's out of here. Because I've heard that the ending is absolute dog water. So We'll see how long this stays in the collection. And if it's interesting enough, maybe I'll read online, but I don't want to commit to something that has a bad ending. I think that, enough people, or you've kind of heard a lot of what I said, but the ending is a very big deal. So if it doesn't have a good ending, you can't stick the landing. I don't want to buy the rest of the series. So we will see. But right now, I own Tokyo Ghoul or Tokyo Revengers volumes 1 through 6. Not Tokyo Ghoul, Tokyo Revengers. Don't get that confused. And finally, my absolute favorite series that I own is Vinland Saga, which is volumes 1 all the way through 12. Vinland Saga is fantastic. One of the best pieces of media I've ever ingested. Vinland Saga is written by the same guy who does Planets, which is right up there, which again, if you heard what I said about this guy, then you can tell that this is also super good. These 4 volumes alone are spectacular, and then it somehow gets better to right here, and then it just gets better and better. And Vinland Saga might be one of the best manga it is the best manga I've ever read. To this day, I love Vinland Saga all the way through, so I will talk about it all day long. It is so, so good. It's about Thorfinn and his journey with trying to accept his, troubled past and dealing with that, and it's crazy because it's just so dang good. But Vinland Saga is worth it so much. I mean, these volumes are thick, but man, do they look great on the shelf, and I will just talk it up every single day. Vinland Saga is spectacular. I'm so glad it finally got an anime. But please, 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 if you haven't already done it, do yourself a favor and read Vinland Saga. I got hot, so I took off my sweatshirt. Hey, but thank you guys for watching. You guys are real homies out there. You guys are cool for watching, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully next year I'll make more than just 4 videos. But who knows? Maybe I'm just going to be crazy wild like that. I'm more of a quality over quantity type of guy anyways. So I think you guys know that if you've been around for a while. But subscribe. I'm almost at 600 subscribers. And yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. I just really own a lot of manga, and I really need to figure that out in a good way. I need to get rid of some of it. So it will not probably be this big next year, because things like Bakuman, it's gotta go. So that's all. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video.